Lincoln Mitchell. Good morning. Good morning. Disclaimers on the board. Pause the video. Read it. Let's get down to business, people. Um, Stop losses. When you are trading, uh, you have stop losses, take profit, and a trailing stop. Well, both of these are. We're gonna go. We're gonna go through each one of them. We're going to go through each one of them, and I'm gonna show you some ways to kind of tweak it. One of the things I don't really use much is a trailing stop. They are good. I'd rather scale it than use a trailing stop, and I'm gonna explain to that what all that means in a second here. This will be your entry on every trade, the green line. So keep that in your head. This yellow line will be your trailing stop. This red line, of course, will be your stop. Let's get this out the way. Now, let's talk about trailing stops real quick. Let's say, for instance, we entered this trade right there. We entered the trade to go up, and we have a 10 pip trailing stop. So since we entered this at 75, dang, I'm glad I picked an easy number. Let me get 70. Let me get 70. I'm gonna do 70. So we entered this at 70 to make it simple for you. Now remember, you have a 10 pip trailing stop. So that what that means is, as soon as we entered this at 70, you automatically going to get a trailing stop at 60. Now, if this currency pair or stock, the price starts to go down, this trailing stop will not move. It will not move. Now, but as soon as it goes up 4, this will automatically go up 4. That's where it's at. So let's imagine I'm gonna get rid of this. We're gonna say the blue line. We'll say the blue line is your where the price is at. This is where the blue line is at. The blue line is your price. So now the blue line you got here, the blue line went up 4. So now the trailing stop will actually adjust to it because it got a 10 pip trailing stop. But now you're gonna say, well, Lincoln, what happens if this starts to go back down? If this starts to go back down, what's going to end up happening is the trailing stop is not going to move. It's going to stay there. So if it comes back here, it's going to try out because every time this moves up, so let's say, for instance, this spikes up right there to 88. The trailing stop is also going to spike up to 78 because remember, you got 10 pips. Now, if it starts to come back down, this trailing stop is not going to move. That's what's going to happen. That's why it's called a trailing stop. The bad thing about a trailing stop is a lot of people keep them too close or too far. And if they spike, if you get a trailing stop that just spike, like the market does spike, it automatically knocks you out. Now, that's the trailing stop. Let's talk about your stop. And yes, people, you can use both of them. Your stop says, I entered this trade here. I want to keep a 15 pip stop loss. I mean 10 pip. Let's do 10 to make it easy for y'all analytical people. Now, what happens is that stays there. That's not ever going to move. So even if the market goes up, down, this stop will always remain right where it's at. It's not going to do anything until the price comes and trigger it. Then you get knocked out. Most of the time when people put a stop in, they also put a take profit somewhere like I do. Like this one. I was asleep last night and I got 14 pips somewhere right there. See how I went this up? And once it knocked me out, this is a take profit. That's what happened. I took profit. So I fell asleep. I entered the trade. And I said, boy, I'm going to take profit up here. I'm going to take profit. White line to be my take profit. Bam. And I entered it here, and I took 14 pips profit while I was asleep. So this is what we said. Here we go. Enter here, 14 pips, and that's where I got out at. And I just had it. I just had it like that. I was knocked out, and once I entered this trade, bam. Now my stop is not going to move. So what happened if it would have spiked against me and hit? So when you're doing a trailing stop or a take profit, which one hits first is when you're going to be out of that trade. Now, if it spikes down, I'm out of that trade. If I think it's going to hit here, I'm out of that trade. Which one goes first? I really don't run stop losses. So if this trade would have went south on me, I would have been really screwed because I fell asleep on it. Now I'm gonna show y'all a trick here. Now, some people do this. I don't like it. I have done it hundreds of times. I entered this trade here and it went up. Instead of putting a trailer stop in, we put what we call a stop loss. We automatically move this above that. So what that happens is we move our stop loss above our entry, and this will always protect our profit. Always. Now somebody gonna say, well, can't you do that with a trailing stop? No. You have to wait for it to move 10 pips. I'm sorry. Yes, you can, and no, you can't. Because what if it only moves 5 pips? Your trailing stop, remember, is going to go to 65. It's still not in a profit yet. It's still not in profit. So if this spikes down, you still lost your profit. Even though it's above. Even though now the price is here. The price is here now. 60, it should be 75, right? Because we said we enter. So even though the price is here, the trailing stop still has not broken your entry level. Versus a stop loss, this is called scaling, but you have to manually do this. Then you go here, bam. So you know no matter what happens, you're going to get a profit. Do you understand? Now, the good thing about a trailing stop now, if this spikes up like you want it to, let's say for instance, like when you enter right here, you see this big old spike? Let's say for instance it spiked. Bam, it spiked way up here to 91. Now that's where your trailing stop will automatically do it as well. It'll come up to 81. Bam, that's where your trailing stop going to stop. So now you're good. Both of them have their pros and cons. Good thing about trailing stop, if it spikes up like that, you're good to go. You want that to happen on a trailing stop. But now on a manual stop, a regular stop loss, you have to do it. You're going to have to manually go in there and change it. And so, like, you see how this one still keep going up? See, with the trailer stop, you don't have to go in here and change anything now. The trailer stop is just going to keep following it. It's just going to keep following. That's why it's called a trailing stop. It's trailing behind the price. Now, your manual stop, for instance, it ain't moving. It ain't going anywhere. It ain't going anywhere. Your manual stop is not going anywhere. Where's it at? Your manual stop is not going anywhere. It's going to stay there unless you come in here and scale it. And this goes the same with take profit. So if you enter a trade, you need to set a take profit somewhere up here. You can do the same thing. Now, people, you must understand how important stops are in whatever you do. Here's a little trick I wanted to show y'all with stops. Be careful with your one of the reasons why stops fail is not because of the stop. It's because of the trader. You know, you got a 16 pip trailing, you got a 16 pip ATR on this hour chart that we're looking at. So with that said, if you enter the market here and you put your stop or even trailing stop less than 16 pips, that's kind of too tight. You got a good chance of getting knocked out. Because what's this saying is we have the volatility go up and down 16 pips, give or take. So if that spikes down and you only got a 5 pip trailing stop, you're out of that trade already. You're out of that trade. But on the flip side of that, if you have a 5 pip take profit, you out of the trade again. My high recommendation for people is use some of these indicators to your advantage with your price. So for this one, for instance, if you know you're going to do a trailing stop or a stop loss, find the ATR. Find what that ATR is given, and then use that ATR to your advantage. Do you understand what I'm saying? Use the ATR. Don't go in here and you enter a trade here, put a stop that close. That's what, 10 pips, and it's telling you we can knock out 16. So the chance of this hitting is pretty good. You're gonna have to be a beast on the entry not to get stopped out. And I mean, some people are that good. You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna have a killer entry not to get stopped out. So you want to be able to adjust this, pull it down a little bit. Don't run it too close. Don't run it too close. Pull it down a little bit. You know? That's how you want to do it. Don't give your trade time to work. Give your trade time to work. Let's look at the one I did. I don't know if it went down on me. I'm pretty good at my entry, so I don't know. I don't know if it went down on me or not. I don't know. Like I said, I fell asleep on the damn thing. So it did. See? Well, no, it didn't. That was just a crazy good entry. You see that? You can't get a better entry than that, boss. At the peak, and it just flew up from there on out. It just went up. That's a killer entry. That's hard to do, and no, that's not a guess. That was a good setup. This was a good entry, but see how far it went back on me? It went back 5 pips. See that? Went back 5 pips. So let's use this one. So I entered it here. And what if I had my trailer stop right here? I would have got knocked out. That simple. But if I would have had my trailing stop or my trailer stop or stop loss. I'm trying to read that email I just got. Here, I would have been safe. So make sure you be very cautious of where you put your stops. So many people put your stops too close. Okay, people? That's it. I hope I kind of explained that to you. If I didn't, please put a comment on the bottom, and I'll probably make a better video. You know, sometimes when I make these videos, you know, I do it so much that I might be missing a beginner's point. One guy told me, and I think he's right, a dude named Jan, he said my videos are really for advanced traders, and they are. You know, and I apologize for that, people. I really do. If you have a problem, just put something at the bottom. I'm easy to deal with. I'm easy to talk to. Hey, Lincoln, I didn't understand that. Can you go more in depth with that? Hey, Lincoln, I think you should redo that video because this point or that point. Do you understand? All right, that's it.